Hello and welcome, Pem here. Today I'm going to be talking about deja vu and the whole concept of reincarnation and how it really is a scientific idea. But first, I want to talk about my first product here. This here is a t-shirt, and this t-shirt has a depiction of Jesus, and he's sitting on the mushroom, and it's Alice in Wonderland, and you can see the red pill down there. Alice in Wonderland and the red pill and going down the rabbit hill was all in the Matrix, and Lewis Carroll had a friend who knew about the psychedelic mushrooms, and that's why he wrote about going to Wonderland. Wonderland is actually the place you go when you eat the mushrooms. But anyway, I just wanted to say that's a shirt. We're selling them there. You can check it out on my website, skydos.org, and that's where you can find it. So what I really wanted to talk to you today is about the whole concept of deja vu. It's a pretty interesting concept that's been around. And I think many of us have had that feeling before in our lives that we've actually been here before. And we often use the term deja vu, which literally is a French word for already seen, and to describe these moments. And for me, it feels like I've already been here before, and that I'm doing what I'm doing in that moment as if I dreamt it first. However, there is another kind of feeling that does come over me, and it's not a feeling like I've been here before so much as it's like a distant memory. So during World War II, General Patton was somebody who had many such feelings like this. In fact, he wrote a poem about it. He called it Through a Glass Darkly. And here's a stanza. Through the travail of ages, midst the pomp and toil of war, I fought and strove and perished countless times upon this star. His beliefs were even portrayed in a movie called Patton, and you can watch them. You find it on YouTube. But the simple truth is you weren't so much as born again, but you never really died in the first place. While it may be easy to dismiss the concept of reincarnation, I think the truth is more scientific. And the fact is, we've all had past lives, and those memories are stored in our DNA. Our brains make memories. They record stimulus and response into a unit of information. And I believe that this information is stored in our DNA. We use our brains to access and make memories, but I don't believe that the memories are necessarily stored in our brains. I believe that these experiences get translated into a response stimulus code. Think about, we're born with behavior programmed into us, and these are our ancestral memories, and their experiences get woven into our genetic code as behavior and our physical characteristics. But I think sometimes we can actually remember those experiences of our ancestors as real memories. Furthermore, I'm also inclined to believe that these memories can come from our experiences as a sperm and an egg. Before you were born, you were a sperm and you were an egg. And if you think about that for a minute, you were two distinct living cells that came together to make a new cell. Each cell had its own owner's DNA, and the new cell combines the DNA to make a new code. And part of this code are the memories of the parents, which become your instincts, while other DNA code makes your physical body. But again, what about the experiences that you were a sperm and an egg? What sort of consciousness did they have when you were a sperm? Can you have memories of those? I think it's possible. Under the experience of psychedelic drugs, many people hallucinate alien-like beings, weird insectoid creatures, and others claim to see UFOs or fairies or DMT entities, I've had weird experiences myself, but I never believed these things to be like outside of my body. They were hallucinations. But my brain was under the influence of drugs. But what if these drugs stimulate epigenetic changes, and during the process, the brain is able to access ancestral memories and then reconfigure the way our DNA is read? Well, that's epigenetics, and maybe that's what happens. Epigenetics is an emerging field of science that studies the heritable changes caused by activation and deactivation of genes without any changes to the underlying DNA sequence of the organism. The word epigenetics is Greek, and it literally means over and on top of the genes. Scientists have discovered that your genes can change through the environment, behavior, and even foods like mushrooms. That's right. Mushrooms can induce epigenetic changes too. In fact, mushrooms might induce epigenetic changes to fight cancer. They've done some research, and recently they found particularly there were some potential benefits using mushrooms against bladder cancer. Researchers found that the growth of human cancer cells was reduced from 60 to 90%, and that the histone deacetylized activity was significantly lost. Basically, these mushroom extracts were able to induce a change in genes that would result in the death of cancer cells. So if mushrooms can change the way your genes interact and kill cancer, maybe psychological changes that occur when you take mushrooms are also genetic. I really don't know, but I know it's possible that we could perform experiments with psychoactive mushrooms and study the genetic markers and see what changes occur. I think there's a real possibility that we can sometimes access these ancient memories of our ancestors, and it's part of the evolutionary process. When we think about we need to change, and if we have all that DNA stored in us, the junk DNA, maybe it's really possible that these in fact are ancient memories and that we can go back with into these genetic code and change it through the use of these. So I think it's something interesting. And again, I think it's more of a scientific process to think that maybe reincarnation, again, is we've never really left the planet. In a sense, we're a living connection to our ancient history and ancestors, just because, again, we've been in this living cell, cast off, that started again. So it's something to think about. I think it's more interesting to think about that, we could have these memories in our bodies rather than there's some weird beings out there and aliens, which I don't discount, but I just think it's more realistic that these things are inside us and it's an epigenetic process. So thanks for listening. I'd appreciate it. You could check out my website, scottouse.org. If you're interested in supporting me, I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm selling a book you can buy. There's also some t-shirts. And anyway, I'd appreciate it. And you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be great. I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great day. And let me know what you think in the comments.